Good evening, you handsome lot, and as you can see me on the ramp, I have got an absolutely fully tricked out, immaculate 2015 Nissan Navara. Now this vehicle's had zero expense spared. It has got a lot of trick bits on it. Should we chuck it into a montage and I'll show you. As you can see, that vehicle has had quite a little bit of money spent on it. But before we get involved with this vehicle, I just want to thank everybody, and I mean everybody, that came to Sandown Park on the launch stand over the last 2 days, that come for a little bit of a photo, a little bit of a chat. It was so nice to get involved with everybody, meet everybody on a personal level. It's just so overwhelming by it all. Now, I cannot thank Launch UK for what they've done for me. But yeah, it was a really good show for, I think, everybody that was there. There was a lot of companies there. We got speaking to a lot of them, and it's nice to be recognised. Nice to be recognised. But anyway, should we crack on with this vehicle? Yeah, I think so. Now, because this vehicle has been standing for 3 years and it has been moved around the yard or in a building and one thing or another, we're going to be using Launch Advanced Engine Oil Flush. Now, what is it going to do? It's not so much breaking down all the carbon deposits in the engine. It's more to neutralise the acids that are left behind from the old engine oil. And with it being short journeys, it's probably going to be full of fuel anyway. So we're going to get this poured in, get the vehicle started, leave it tick over for 10 minutes. And while that's ticking over, I'm going to be going around the lights and making sure that everything's working inside the vehicle. So with that vehicle running, we can now go around all our lights, make sure they're all working, all the indicator, and of course, we'll have to put the light bar on to give a little bit of a demonstration. Now, it has had some modified new rear lights on it, and they are absolutely trick. Lots of nice little trick bits on this vehicle. Make sure all the doors are opening and closing as they should. So even a lot of detail has gone into this. You put the strip down there so it doesn't catch on anything. That is insane. Right, we're going to take it up now and give these wheels a little bit of a shake. With that vehicle up at working height, we're going to grab all the wheels at 3:15 or 9:15, whatever you want to call it. Make sure that we've got no play in any suspension and steering, and also up and down and checking for wheel bearings. Now, this vehicle has had a lot of things replaced. Tyres are brand new. It's still got the little nozzles on it. Even the wheel arches, spotless. Look at it. Not much to find wrong with this, I don't think. And again, we're going to do exactly the same with the back, up and down, side to side. Make sure we've got no rough wheel bearings or anything. Just see how clean it is. This has had a lift kit on it, so it is a little bit higher than standard. I do like it. There's not many pickup trucks that I like, but I don't know what it is about this. I do like it. I've now got the vehicle fully raised, and we're going to be going over and checking all the flexible brake hoses. Because it's had a lift kit on it, we want to make sure that the hoses aren't overstretched when it's jacked up, but they all seem to be fine, and especially the handbrake cables. Make sure there's nothing fouling anywhere. And we're just going to generally check the rear axle, oil, and also the prop shafts. Check are these splices universal joints. Make sure we've got no play in them, and also if there is any grease nipples in them. Some prop shafts do have grease nipples, some don't. This doesn't, but if it did have grease nipples, I would be getting my grease gun on it. But yeah, I do like this vehicle. I do like it. As we're working back down the vehicle, we're going to be checking all the fuel lines, brake hoses, chassis. Like, you won't believe how clean this car is, or 4x4. Check the front prop shaft. You might not hear me now because this engine is a little bit noisy underneath. We'll be checking all the front flexible brake hoses. It's had new brakes. They're not even bedded in yet, I don't think. But yeah, everything on this vehicle is looking absolutely spot on. After I've done all my checks, we can now drop the vehicle back down, switch the ignition off, and we can get our oil filter pliers and just back it off, and we can get it from underneath and twist it off. So all the oil is being drained into my lovely little receptacle. Now, I have slackened it off. Let's send this vehicle up in the air. There we go, that vehicle is now up in the air. As you can see, I've got my lovely little receptacle on the side of me. one sun plug out. I can reach up now and just wind this oil filter out and be careful it doesn't drip on you. Because nothing worse than horrible, dirty diesel oil. Doesn't matter how much you wash your hands, it'll be there. In a couple of days' time, it's awful stuff. That's why I wear gloves. And there we have it. That is one oil filter removed. While I'm waiting for the oil to drain out into my lovely little receptacle, he has asked me just to go all over the, the bolts that hold the tow bar and the rear bumper to the chassis. Just 3 bolts either side. Just if I can go over them with a little bit of a bar and make sure they're nice and tight. And also there is a little bit of an earth wire, which is by here, where he's asked me to connect up. So I'm going to try and connect that up to the chassis somewhere, I think. Yep. Finished now, everything down the back end there. Come round to the front. Brand new sun plug in, it's torqued up, and we've also put a little mark on it as well. And we've put the new oil filter in. Right, the oil filter is now changed. We've put some fresh oil in it, it's now ticking over. But there's one thing I do want to concentrate on, is that noisy alternator belt. Now I have got 2 new belts to put on it. What I'm going to refer to is all data for all my technical information and also the belt routing, and it'll also show you which pulley is the tensioner. We do have to take the power steering belts off first, and then we can access the alternator drive belt, which is going to be a little bit tricky because it is right down there somewhere. Because this vehicle has got a bit of a lift kit on it, what I've had to do is let them tyres down so I can get a little bit of access in there. Now with that plastic engine cover off, we have got a little bit more access down there. Like I said, we've just got to take this alternator power steering belt off. It does look like a relatively new one, but it does feel a little bit slack. When I get that belt off, I just want to be checking as well this alternator pulley, because it is a free running pulley. Now if that has seized, which is quite common, especially if it's been standing, that will make the belt squeal. And I won't be putting the belt on if the pulley's failed, if that makes sense. Right, well, we have got these belts off and they do look rather shiny. But if we go around to the alternator now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you this. Oh, can you see down there? No, you can't really see. Yeah, can we see there? Right, now the alternator pulley, how you check these is when you grab hold of them, you can just range them and you can feel like a clutch engaging. Now normally, what happens is when they seize, it almost feels like a solid pulley and it causes the tensioner to bounce. But that pulley is good. So I'm going to go ahead now and get these new belts fitted. Well, a little bit of origami with my hands where you've got to be bending them this way, bending them that way. I could do with like an extra joint in my arm there. So I could, if that makes sense. I'm sure you mechanics will understand that. Right, shall we give it a big start and see if it's making that noise? Yeah, listen to that now. Eh? Wait for it. It's like a little Singer sewing machine. Right, let's get the cover back on. I have gone ahead. All the filters have changed. All the levels are correct, spot on. We topped the screen wash up. Gone through this vehicle with a fine tough gun. We've also put a brand new set of cabin filters in, just behind the glove box, fairly simple. And I have done a bit of an anti-back in there as well, so it makes it nice and fresh. Now I think this vehicle is up for sale. I'm not sure. We've reset the service light, stamped the book. I've now got to get it off my ramp somehow. But yeah. Oh, I tell you what I did have. While I was when I changed the fuel filter, the battery went a bit flat, so I've chucked it on charge with a ring battery charger. After about half an hour or so, it was fully charged and the vehicle started perfect. But I tell you what an absolute mint truck that is. And if you're selling it, the next owner is going to be such a lucky customer. Even to a point now, let me just flick this round for you. The customer who owns it now, he was like, Baz, he said, do me a favour. He said, you know, on the filler neck, on the fuel filler neck, he said, can you just put me 2 new Jubilee clips on? He said, because they look a little bit rusty. So that's what I've done. And all it was on the original ones was The nuts are a little bit, and that's how, oh, it's been perfect, this truck has. Everything's been gone through with a fine tooth comb. It generally is. But yeah, I hope you liked that video. I know there wasn't much, there was more talking and chatting rubbish, more than fixing it. But yeah, that is one Nissan Navara. It is a Navara, isn't it? Yeah. Nissan Navara had a bit of a service and ready for its new owner. So yeah, hope you liked it. Please click that like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Let's get a send.